You are here today because this message was meant to reach you at the right moment. It is not something that appeared randomly or arrived without meaning. There are moments in life when the heart becomes quiet, when everything slows down and a person begins to question what they truly feel. Even in those moments of uncertainty, deep inside that peaceful place within you where your strongest feelings live, you may already know the answer you have been searching for. This is one of those special moments. What you are about to hear is not just simple information or a collection of ordinary words. It is a powerful reflection of the feelings, questions, and hopes you have been carrying silently for many days, maybe even for many weeks. Today, you are about to discover the place where your inner feelings connect with the reality you have been waiting to understand for such a long time. You have experienced a connection with someone that feels different from anything you have known before, a bond that seems difficult to explain through normal logic, a feeling that stays with you even when you try to ignore it. If you want to understand the hidden truth about this person's real feelings toward you, make sure you like this video right now. You have felt a strong attraction, a deep emotional pull, and a connection that words sometimes cannot fully describe. There may have been moments when you questioned yourself, moments when you wondered if it was only your imagination, only a wish created by your heart, or simply a beautiful thought you held on to because you wanted something meaningful to be true. But today, there is something important you need to hear clearly. The feelings you have experienced, the energy you notice whenever this person crosses your mind, and the strange comfort you feel as if you have known them for a lifetime, may not be something you should easily dismiss. There have been repeated signs, small moments, and meaningful patterns that have appeared along your journey. They may have been easy to overlook, but together they tell a deeper story. And today you will begin to understand why this person may truly have strong feelings for you. Even if their actions seem confusing right now, even if they appear distant or different from what you expected, there may be more happening beneath the surface than you realize. Stay with me until the end, because what you discover may completely change the way you look at this connection. It does not matter if you recently felt emotional heaviness, uncertainty, or confusion because this person became quieter, less available, or harder to read. That silence itself may hold a message. Sometimes the strongest feelings are hidden behind moments of distance, reflection, and inner conflict. When two people share a meaningful connection, the truth is often felt before it is fully understood. Your heart can recognize something before your mind finds the words to explain it, and that may be the reason you are still listening right now. Because you needed a confirmation that does not come from ordinary explanations, but from something that feels connected to the same energy as your heart and spirit. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to understand emotions with logic, trying to find perfect answers for feelings that were never meant to be explained only by the mind. Some emotions are meant to be felt, understood, and experienced on a deeper level. What you are feeling right now is not a sign that you are losing control, not simply fear, and not the unhealthy attachment you sometimes worry about. What you are experiencing may be the journey of opening yourself to a connection that feels different from anything you have known before, a connection that goes beyond simple attraction and reaches a deeper emotional level. You are beginning to experience a powerful recognition between two people who feel naturally connected, as if their paths were meant to cross at the right moment. There is something important you need to remember today. Your doubts are not always created because this person does not care. Sometimes your doubts come from old experiences, past disappointments, and emotional wounds that still need understanding and healing. When someone enters your life with a presence that feels powerful, when someone looks at you in a way that makes you feel truly noticed and understood, old fears can rise to the surface. Your mind may try to protect you from being hurt again. It may create questions, fears, and reasons to step back, but deep inside, your heart may recognize something meaningful. That is why you have spent so many quiet nights wondering if this connection is real, if this person feels the same way, or if you are simply holding on to a dream that may never happen. Stay until the end, because the signs you are about to discover may help you see this connection from a completely different perspective. Comment 111 if you believe some connections are felt before they are fully understood. The same cycle may have continued again and again. Whenever you try to move forward, whenever you decide to close your emotions, ignore the feelings, and leave the past behind, something inside you brings your attention back. Something keeps reminding you of this person. This feeling is not only about pride, fear of losing someone, or refusing to let go. It may represent the strong emotional bond that has formed between two people who have deeply affected each other's lives. You have searched for a clear answer. You may have looked for signs around you, hoping for something undeniable that would remove every doubt. And even when moments appeared, you may have questioned whether they were meaningful or just coincidences. But today, you may begin to notice that even the smallest moments can carry importance. The way they looked at you and quickly looked away. The message that seemed simple but felt different. The way your mood changes when they are near or when their memory suddenly appears in your mind. These moments can reveal emotions that are difficult to express with words. Real connection does not always appear through dramatic promises or perfect conversations. Sometimes it reveals itself quietly. Sometimes it exists in the pauses, the small actions, and the things left unsaid. Keep watching, because the next signs may reveal what their heart has been trying to communicate. Type yes if you want to understand the deeper signs behind this connection. Today, you need to recognize something powerful. This person may not be as confused about their feelings as you believe. The bigger struggle may be within you, because accepting something meaningful can feel frightening when you have experienced disappointment before. It does not mean you are weak. It means this connection arrived during a time when you were still learning to trust yourself, trust your feelings, and believe that something genuine could exist. When someone enters your life and creates a strong emotional impact, they do not always come to disturb your peace. Sometimes they come to reveal parts of yourself that were waiting to be understood. They challenge your fears, expand your heart, and help you see love in a new way. The intensity can feel overwhelming, and sometimes that intensity feels like fear. But remember this important truth. Fear does not always mean something is wrong. Sometimes fear appears when something important is touching a place inside you that you have kept protected for a long time. It is created by the powerful energy of what is coming into your life. This person notices you, even from a distance, with a kindness they cannot easily hide, with a respect that feels natural, and with a gentle warmth that appears when the heart has already chosen someone quietly. I understand that there may have been a moment, maybe even very recently, when you convinced yourself that this person was gone forever. You may have believed their silence meant they stopped caring, and you may have seen their distance as proof that the connection was slowly disappearing. But you were not brought to this moment just to experience another unfinished story or another painful disappointment. A meaningful connection is not destroyed by temporary confusion, periods of silence, or moments of uncertainty. What is truly valuable can survive difficult seasons. It can survive unanswered messages, emotional challenges, misunderstandings, and the moments when you begin questioning everything you once believed. But you may wonder, if this connection is real, why does it feel so difficult right now? Why does it feel so confusing and unpredictable? The reason is simple. Real love does not always arrive to keep everything comfortable. Sometimes it arrives to change you. It removes old beliefs, reveals hidden fears, and teaches you patience, trust, and the ability to believe in something before you see the final result. This uncertainty may not be a sign that everything is falling apart. It may be a sign that something within you is changing. Old fears are being released so a stronger and more genuine version of yourself can appear. And one day, when the silence finally becomes communication and the distance begins to disappear, you may look back and understand that every difficult moment was preparing your heart for the kind of connection you always hoped to experience. The answer you have been searching for is not only found in external signs, It is also found in the quiet battle happening inside you between what your mind says and what your heart continues to feel. If you are ready to understand this deeper message, keep listening with an open heart, because what comes next may help you see everything differently. The reason you feel uncertain, even though something inside you feels connected, leads to one of the deepest struggles people experience. The heart often recognizes something before the mind is ready to accept it. Feelings can appear instantly, while the mind asks for proof, explanations, and certainty before it allows trust to grow. This creates an inner conflict. One part of you wants to believe, while another part tries to protect you from possible pain. But every powerful connection eventually reaches a point where fear cannot continue controlling the story. Growth requires vulnerability. Healing requires bravery. And opening your heart requires the willingness to experience something beyond your old fears. Stay with me, because the next part reveals why this connection may feel stronger than you expected. The person connected to your journey may also be facing their own internal struggles. Just as you have questioned the meaning of this bond, they may have their own fears, doubts, and emotional walls to overcome. Not every moment of silence means someone has stopped caring. Sometimes silence is a time of thinking. Sometimes distance is a chance for personal growth. Sometimes people step away not because they feel nothing, but because they feel something so powerful that they do not yet know how to handle or express it. Many deep emotions are difficult to put into words. That is why the small signs you continue noticing may keep returning, even when you try to ignore them. These moments may be gentle reminders, encouraging you to pay attention to what your heart has been trying to understand all along. The connection itself has been showing you something deeply meaningful. It has been leading you towards stronger self-awareness, greater confidence in your own value, and a closer relationship with the truth inside your heart. Whether this journey develops quickly or takes more time, its purpose is not only about romance. It is also about helping you become the person who can receive genuine love without constant fear, without pushing it away, and without needing endless proof that you are worthy of it. The more you learn to trust yourself, the easier it becomes to understand this connection clearly. The more you heal the pain you carried from the past, the less control your doubts will have over the future you are creating. And as this transformation continues, you may realize that the love, reassurance, and certainty you were searching for outside of yourself were quietly growing within you all along. This is why this moment is so important. Not because it promises a perfect ending or guarantees one specific result, but because it invites you to recognize the wisdom that already exists inside your own heart. The truth you have been trying to find was never completely hidden from you. It appeared through your feelings, repeated patterns, meaningful moments, unexpected reminders, and the quiet understanding you felt when no one else could explain it. Today may simply be the moment when you finally allow yourself to notice it more clearly. The road ahead may still bring questions. There may still be moments that require patience and trust. But you are not the same person you were before. You have learned, you have grown, you have become more aware of yourself and your emotions. Most importantly, you have developed the ability to listen to the deeper voice within you. Remember this as the story continues. Love is rarely revealed in one single moment. It often unfolds slowly, piece by piece, teaching you, healing you, and changing you along the way. And perhaps the greatest sign of all is not only the connection you feel with another person, but the person you are becoming because that connection entered your life. Stay with me, because there is a deeper reason why this journey has affected you so strongly. The answer may reveal more than you expected. The inner conflict you are experiencing between the fearful part of your mind and the wiser part of your heart is at the center of everything happening right now. The confusion, the emotional waves, and the moments when you wonder if you are creating a story in your imagination often happen because your mind is facing something it cannot fully explain, predict, or control. Yet even with every question that appears, even with every fear that rises, Something deeper inside you continues to notice, continues to feel, and continues returning to the same feeling again and again. It is a feeling that does not always fit into the old ideas of love you have carried for years. The protective side of your mind is shaped by past experiences, previous disappointments, and the natural desire to avoid pain. Its main purpose is to keep you safe. When this powerful connection entered your life, that protective part of you may have immediately become alert. Why? Because a meaningful connection requires openness. It asks you to be honest, emotionally present, and willing to be seen without hiding behind walls. And when you have experienced hurt before, that kind of openness can feel dangerous. Your mind may start saying, "Be careful. Do not trust too quickly. Do not allow yourself to hope too much." It may convince you that something beautiful must eventually lead to disappointment. But this is the moment where you must learn to recognize the difference between fear and inner wisdom. One voice creates panic, the other creates peace. The anxious voice makes everything feel urgent. It creates endless thoughts, constant questions, and the need to search for reassurance every moment. It says, "If they are quiet today, they must not care." It says, "If they do not show love exactly the way I expect, they must be leaving." This voice carries heaviness. It drains your energy and keeps you trapped in uncertainty. But the deeper voice inside you feels different. It is quieter. It does not force. It does not create panic. It brings a sense of calm even when everything around you feels unclear. Even when your mind says, "Maybe this is over," there may still be a peaceful feeling inside that reminds you to remain patient and observe. Pay attention to this difference, because this understanding can completely change how you see your emotions and this connection. The reason you have questioned whether this bond is real may come from your own emotional history. Think honestly about what you have experienced before. If you have faced rejection, broken trust, or deep disappointment, your mind naturally tries to protect you by expecting the same outcome again. It may assume that this person will eventually hurt you just like someone from your past did. But the deeper truth is that you may not only be questioning their feelings, you may also be questioning whether you are truly capable of receiving a love that feels this powerful without losing yourself. And that is the lesson standing in front of you now. This connection is not only here to bring affection and happiness into your life, it is also showing you the places within yourself that still need healing. It is encouraging you to face fears you have carried for a long time. It is challenging you to see your own worth in a completely new way. What you feel is inviting you to move beyond accepting small pieces of love and to understand that you deserve something complete, honest, and meaningful. Every time fear tries to control your thoughts, it gives you another chance to heal something from the past. When uncertainty appears, it does not always mean that the connection is disappearing. Sometimes it means an old wound is rising because it is finally ready to be understood and released. If you react from fear, you give that fear more power. But if you stay calm, observe your emotions, and understand where they come from, you begin to free yourself from their control. This connection becomes like a light shining into hidden parts of your heart, revealing what needs healing and helping you become stronger than before. Keep listening, because the next part will help you understand why this experience may have arrived in your life at this exact moment. Clearing away old emotional energy and creating space for something more meaningful to enter your life. Remember this carefully. No matter how many times you try to move forward, no matter how often you tell yourself that it is time to forget and release everything, something deep inside continues bringing you back to the same feeling. This pull is not a force that traps you or takes away your freedom. It is the powerful emotional connection created between two people whose paths have deeply touched each other during this lifetime. Its presence can feel so strong that even when you try to silence it with logic or overcome it with fear, it remains like a quiet, invisible magnet. It gently reminds you of the place where your heart feels understood and peaceful. But an important question still remains. If two people can feel such a strong connection, And if the bond feels so powerful, then why does the other person sometimes become quiet, distant, or difficult to reach? The answer can be found in the emotional intensity that appears when two deeply affected people come into each other's lives. You need to understand that this person is not only someone you feel attracted to, their presence often becomes a reflection that reveals parts of yourself you still need to understand and heal. Their arrival can awaken emotions, fears, and hidden feelings that were waiting beneath the surface. And just as you have felt changed by this connection, they may also be experiencing their own internal transformation. This type of bond can reach the most sensitive places inside both people. For a mind that wants answers, control, and certainty, this experience can feel confusing and overwhelming. That is why distance is not always a sign of rejection. Sometimes it is a reaction to emotions that feel too powerful to process immediately. Stay with me, because the next part explains why someone can care deeply and still create distance. In many situations, people talk about the pattern of one person moving closer while the other steps away. The person who creates distance is not always escaping from you. Sometimes they are struggling with themselves and with the depth of what they are feeling. They may step back because the emotions feel bigger than they expected. They may fear not being enough, fear making mistakes, or fear losing control over something that feels extremely valuable. Deep inside, it can come from old experiences of disappointment, rejection, or emotional pain. Those experiences may have created a protective habit of avoiding anything that feels powerful enough to hurt them again. This is why silence does not always mean a lack of feelings. Sometimes silence is a moment of reflection. Sometimes it is a period where someone is trying to understand their own emotions before they know how to express them. Their quietness may be less about ignoring you and more about dealing with the emotional impact of this connection. Your role in this dynamic may feel like the person who wants answers and closeness. Sometimes this happens through actions, and sometimes it happens only through your thoughts and emotions. When you feel distance, fear can quickly appear. Your mind may tell you to reach out immediately, explain yourself, fix everything, or prove that you are worthy of love. But the cycle of pursuing and escaping often creates more space between two people instead of bringing them closer. The more one person pushes from fear, the more the other person may feel the need to create distance. This is where one of the most important lessons appears. Sometimes releasing control is the very thing that creates the possibility of deeper connection. The universe is not asking you to suffer while waiting. It is inviting you to return your focus to yourself, your healing, and your own happiness. A person can only move closer when they feel that they are joining someone who is complete within themselves, not someone who feels empty without them. This creates a powerful shift. When you stop searching for their attention from a place of fear and begin standing firmly in your own value, the entire energy changes. When you choose your peace, your growth, and your emotional balance, the pressure disappears. The connection becomes lighter. The space between you becomes safer. And sometimes, in that peaceful space, the other person begins to recognize the difference. They may feel drawn, not by pressure or expectation, but by the calm strength you now carry. Type yes if you believe that sometimes stepping back can reveal the truth more clearly. This period of distance is not necessarily a punishment. It can become an important opportunity for both people to grow separately before creating something healthier together. During this time, old fears can be released, painful patterns can be understood, and emotional confusion can slowly transform into wisdom. This process allows any future connection to be built on something stronger than fear or attachment. It can be built on respect, maturity, trust, and the free choice of two people who choose each other because they want to, not because they feel incomplete without each other. When you focus on becoming stronger within yourself, you break the control that fear once had over your decisions. You communicate a powerful message through your actions. You trust your journey, you recognize your worth, and you believe that what truly belongs in your life does not need to be forced. What is meant for you does not require constant chasing. It moves toward you through natural understanding and mutual effort. This is how the cycle of distance and pursuit begins to change. The person you care about will not come closer because they were pressured or convinced. They are more likely to respond to the peace, confidence, and emotional strength you develop when you reconnect with yourself. Understand something important. Physical distance alone does not have the power to erase a meaningful connection. Sometimes the space between two people works like a process of refinement. It can feel intense. It can feel uncomfortable. It can even feel painful at times. But its purpose is not always to destroy something. Sometimes its purpose is to remove what was built from fear, insecurity, and old patterns so something healthier can remain. A strong connection grows through honesty, awareness, and truth. And the reality is that when someone has deeply impacted your life, their memory, their influence, and the emotions connected to that experience do not disappear easily. Distance can become an invitation to trust yourself, understand your emotions, and allow life to unfold naturally. Continue focusing on your healing because while you are growing, the other person may also be learning and changing in their own way. Both journeys matter. Both people may be preparing themselves for a healthier and more balanced connection. And if the paths come together again, the bond can feel different because it is no longer built on fear or uncertainty. It can be built on emotional strength, mutual respect, and two individuals who understand their own worth. If you still feel a strong reminder of this person even without conversations, messages, or physical presence, it may be because this connection has created a meaningful emotional impact within you. The small moments you notice, the memories that return, and the unexpected reminders you encounter may encourage you to listen more carefully to your own feelings and remain connected to the wisdom already within you. Keep watching, because understanding this final part may help you see the true purpose behind everything you have experienced.